What is up, tubers? Tio here, Simplistic Fishing, back at you tonight for another lake breakdown. That is right, this time we're staying out on Lake Kerr, or what we know as Bugs Island. This time we're going to go to the Steele Creek area, or what I call the Steele Creek area. So basically Henderson Creek or Henderson Point boat ramp south. So pretty much that whole entire area there, we're going to start breaking that down. We already covered the Eastland Creek area, so if you missed that, go back, check out, take a look at our lake breakdown videos and the Palmer Point area. So we're starting to make our way. I believe there's like 6 or 7 different sections on this lake. I can't remember how many I ended up doing. It's giant, but we're making our way through it. Tonight, let's jump in and see what we found. Let's go. Welcome back to the Google Earth side for Lake Kerr, or what we also know it as Bugs Island, where tonight we're going to talk about the Steele Creek area, as I mentioned in the introduction. So the area that I'm calling this, and I know these aren't normal areas for the lake, is basically going to be where this boat ramp is right here. I can't remember the exact name of it. Henderson Point boat ramp. We're going to start there, go a little bit north of there, and basically on that, we're going to go Virginia south. So anything on the Virginia side, I guess that's the easiest way to say it. We're going to cover all of that side of it for Lake Kerr. So let's go ahead and jump into this thing and let's talk about what we found first off. Well, I guess before we do that, let me talk to you about what else we have for this entire lake. So for the entire lake for Lake Kerr, I've got it broken down into several different sections. One, because your grass will get overloaded with waypoints if you were to load all of these at one time. And 2, because it was just easier for me to break it down by sections. I can do the videos easier, and I can also stay sane while I'm going through these mapping processes. So let's talk about this one. We got Bear Creek, so that's going to be anything that's going to be south and west of Highway 15, so pretty much anything over here west and south of that bridge. We've also got the Bluestone area. So the Bluestone area is this far north area, so pretty much anything north of this main road that's right here, which is going to be Highway 15 as well. Anything north of that, that would be the Bluestone area. We've got the Eastland Creek area, which we've already done the video series on that one, and that one's over here. That's a little smaller area, obviously smaller in price too because of the area, but pretty good little area right there to go take a look at. We've also got the Island Creek area. That's going to be pretty much this main section, anything to the east of Highway 15, and then all the way through here, so you can see a lot in that area. We've also got the Ivy Hill area. That's going to kind of be that midsection of the lake. We've got the Okeechobee, I don't know if I said that right, that area. So that's going to be close to that whole forest area. And then we've also got the Palmer Point area, which we've already completed the video on that one as well. We just did that one. We've got Rudd's Creek, which Rudd's Creek is going to be all of this area up in here. And then finally tonight, what we're talking about is the Steele Creek area. So like I said, pretty much Virginia south is what we're going to talk about. So let's see here how we have this thing broke down. First off, we actually do have some fish attractors in this area. So the state of Virginia does have some out here. You can see them. We've got them all marked for you. It looks like there's about 10 of them total. We've also got channels and ditches. That's going to be any of these tracks that you see here, any of these green lines. Those are channels and ditches. Either the creek channels are coming in or ditches we were able to find by using Google Earth. We've also got all kinds of different cover, most of it being laydowns and brush that we were able to find based on Google Earth, but there's also some other stuff that I just wanted you to check that I don't know what it is. Some type of debris or something that's out there. Not sure what it is, but definitely something you want to go check out. Then we have lots of offshore stuff, and the offshore stuff, what we're going to do is we'll switch over. It'll be a different video. We'll actually use the Navionics mobile app. We'll pull up the contours on this lake and we'll show you where the high percentage areas are based on those contours. We've got ramps that are out here as well, so we'll talk about those. And last but not least, we have rock. So this lake was really interesting because a lot of the rock on this lake is not really obvious from the bank line. At least that's what it looks like from Google Earth, but it's got a lot of good hard spots, a lot of good rock piles and things like that to go through. So let's go ahead and select everything here. I'm going to take off the offshore stuff so we don't get confused there. And then I am going to take this view, take off the sidebar so we can get a full view here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to draw this back to 2016. So when we get to 2016, I'll show you why I like that. Let's just pick a certain spot here. Let's go to like this point right here. So we're going to take a look at this point. Really, you can see the water's pretty low. 2016, 6 of 2016, the water's kind of normal here. This is 2023. You're getting way out here now. You can't really see anything, but if we draw that back to 10 of 13, looks like now it's going to be 10 of 13. It changes every time I touch it, but 10 of 13, we can actually see some pretty good stuff here. So let's go ahead and start at the bottom. Let's just go all the way down here to the bottom. No, let's not do that. Let's start right here. Let's start here. We're going to work our way south, and then we'll work our way back up to that point. So as we get over here, we're basically just south and east of the Henderson Point boat ramp. Let's start going down this bank line and see what we can find. Now, we did talk about a lot of this stuff on the Palmer Point stuff too, so I think this is where the last waypoint ended, but just so you know, check out that rock that's right there. That's beautiful. And when we're looking at this stuff, look at these rock spots that are all here. These all look really good. But then I pull that up to 2020. If you went over there, you would really have no idea that that was a nice, good, rocky spot. So that's why this stuff is really going to come in handy. Obviously, you'd find it if you were scanning, but this is the best way. I mean, you don't even have to scan it. You know it's there. You can see it, visually see it right here on Google Earth. So I'm going to draw that back to 2013. That's giving us our best image. Let's keep going down. I've marked all of these rock spots for you. You've also got some laydowns that are here as well, so you'll want to check those out. But man, you could have a heyday on all those rock piles right there. I mean, just basically load up on Henderson Point and cut straight across and spend your day on that bank line, and I guarantee you're going to have some success. So let's keep going down here. We're going to go down around this point, see what else we can find. We've got a laydown that's over there, another laydown in here. Got a couple more laydowns down in here. Those are just kind of random laydowns to check. Maybe if you're just beating the bank or something like that, you know, you spend a little extra time on these laydowns that we find. There's a few more laydowns in here as well. When we get out here off of this point, you can tell that this is one of those harder points. And if you've been watching any of the lake breakdowns for Lake Kerr, you'll notice I call a lot of them hard spots. I either call them hard spots or rock, and I haven't really been very consistent, to be honest with you. But it's pretty much all the same thing. I mean, if it's just giant rock as opposed to like scattered rock. But if you look at this, you can tell it's a hard spot. The way that you can tell is to just look kind of at the grain of the image and the way that things are coming down. And then if you look around it, you can also see that there's additional rock that's around it as well. So you got rock here, you got some rock here, lots of good scattered rock all outside of this point. Now you got to make sure that you get far enough off that point when you're out there fishing it, right? So if you're out here in 2020, you're not even going to know that rock's here. And if you're beating the bank, you're going to be up here and you're totally missing the good spot is we're actually right behind the boat. So use these waypoints to your advantage. And make sure that you're fishing the right cover, and you're going to really increase your percentages of catching fish. You got some more laydowns here as well. Additional laydowns back in there. This is kind of a combination. You got a little bit of laydowns. So you got one pretty big laydown here, but look at the scattered rock that's just right here in this area. And talk about a random spot. Look, there's nothing, there's no rock anywhere close that you can see on this image other than just right here. So you know it's going to collect some fish for sure. So let's keep moving down and see what else we can find. As we move down here, we've got some pretty good little shallow points that come out, but I didn't see anything crazy on them. You know, really anything to mark. There's something right there that's just a dock. And then as we move down here, this is where it starts to kind of change. So it kind of goes off that sandy bank line that you see here, and it moves down to more of this rocky stuff, but it's only really from like right here to about right in, I don't know, what do you say, about right in there or so. So if you just drew a line right in here, this would be the area you'd want to look at for sure. So that rock is really gonna bring them into those areas. You've also got more rock that's over here. This is a little bit of a smaller pile, but could be one of those little isolated areas that could be good. Moving on back into this pocket, you've got a pretty good little creek that comes back here, but I can't really see where the channel is. It's just kind of wide open, so I didn't have a lot to mark for you there. But you did come over here and you could actually see this channel, so I went ahead and marked that channel for you so you could go back there and check that one out. So let's come out of here. Let's see what else we can find. We got some more rock that's over here off of this point, and again, this is another one of those areas where if we're looking around, there's not a lot of rock anywhere around it. So clearly that is going to be a good area to go to go check out. Those docks are pretty isolated as well. You may want to check those. As we get a little bit further up here and we get around this area, let me back out and just kind of show you where I'm at, coming out of this pocket. As we come out of here and we get over in this area, we do have a couple laydowns that are up here. And then there's also this spot back here, which I just skipped, that I wanted you to check out. So here, I can't remember why I told you to check that. Let's see if I can draw this back anymore. There we go. If I even go to 2012s, it goes down a little bit more. It appears to be two little road beds that are coming right through here. So you'll want to take a look at those and just see if anything's relating to those road beds, if that's really what they are. They could be old boat ramps. I'm not sure what they are, but it almost looks like they go further out. So you'll want to definitely spend some time and just do some exploring there and see what else you can find. Moving on up, we've got more laydowns here. These are bigger laydowns. So those you could actually spend some time on. Looks like I missed a few here. Those might be too shallow. Then we're going to move back up. I'm going to pull this back up so you guys can see where I'm at. I'm starting to work my way out to that main point. But as I get out in here, I'm just looking at these points, and I'm looking at them basically to say, you know, is it a hard spot on the point, or is there any rock on the point? And if there is, that's definitely the points that I'm going to focus on. So right here, you've definitely got a hard spot on this point, a little ridge that comes out. That could be a good area to focus on. And you may want to check this out. I don't know what it is, if it's just a hump or what it is. I can't tell if there's anything on it. It looks like there may be some debris on it here, but it's really hard to tell. I don't really want to be marking stuff that I can't really see, but definitely something to go check out. We may even have that marked as an offshore spot for you to go look at. So let's keep moving up this bank line. And as we move up the bank line, you're going to notice here it turns into kind of this ridge line here, and this is where your hard spot is. And I'd imagine this goes pretty far out there. So you'll definitely want to go check all of that out. You'll want to check this out as well, this little hard spot that comes off there. And then as we move up and we get around this point, we're going to see another really good hard spot on this point. I've marked the rocks like where I can see that, you know, the rock comes up, but essentially this whole area is a hard spot that you're going to want to go look at. So I've marked those, and then as you come here and you get off, this must just be a huge like mountain ridge or something like that underwater. But as you look at it, you've got all these nice hard spots on these points here. Again, this is an area you could spend some serious time in, you know, just going over there and checking that out. I think that's actually, you know, what we were talking about, very similar to what we were talking about at the beginning at the Henderson Point, right? You came over from Henderson Point boat ramp and you had all those. Well, you could really just come down here and go hit these points as well. If that's successful up there with that rock, this is probably going to be successful too. And if that's the pattern, I mean, you don't even have to go anywhere. You've got it right there, all right there in front of you. Lots of good stuff here. Some more laydowns back in here. You've got additional laydowns all throughout here. You've got hard spots that are in these areas too. You've got some rock that's in here. So right in here, if you look here, this is a hard spot, but I also put rock here because you can actually see a little bit of rock as well, but you can definitely tell it's a very good hard spot. Another good hard spot here. This has got some additional like rock piles. So it's a hard area, but then it's got the rock on top of it. So you've got the right here. I'm actually making two good points. I really like that. You may even have a little bit of debris right here that may come into play too. So something to look at. Let's zoom back out and show you where I'm at. We started here, we went back in that cove. Now we're working our way down this bank line. So we're gonna keep going and see what else we can find in here. We've got another hard spot that's right here. And again, right in here, this thing's probably, you know, clearly it's connecting here. That's somehow. And so this whole area is going to be a harder area to go check out. So they may not be right there in that hard spot. They could be a little bit further off, but those are good spots to look at. It comes all the way down here. So basically you have this whole ridge line all right through here. That's going to be a higher percentage area. All right, so let's keep moving back here, see what else we can find. Some more rock that's back here. It's a little bitty rock pile, maybe a little bit of a hard spot, a little bit of a hard spot there as well. And then as you come over here at this point, this one looks pretty interesting. It's got a little bit more of the, you know, the boulder type rocks or the bigger, chunkier rocks. So this spot here could definitely come into play. And then we get out here, we're going to see the same thing. We've just got all these hard spots off of these points. Hard spot, hard spot, hard spot, all those. And then now when you get off these points, you just went off the hard stuff. Now you got a little bit harder stuff here, but in addition to that, you've also got what appears to be either stumps or rocks. I think they're stumps. They look like stumps, like these all look like stumps, but maybe they're just big boulders or big rocks, and I think they're stumps. Anyways, whatever they are, these are going to come into play, and man, look at that. I'm thinking from a pattern standpoint. When that pattern is on, you're golden. You're golden on the whole bank line, and you don't really have to go anywhere else on this giant lake. So as you keep moving down here, let's keep looking at everything else. More hard spots, more of those stumps, or if they're not stumps, they're boulders, and my apologies, they just look like stumps. Then back in here, I like this spot here, right? So you did have a lot of those hard spots, but if you come over here, you got a little pocket that comes in, and right here on the pocket, you've got this little ridge line that comes over here. So a real good hard spot right there. More rocks here. Another rock pile that's out here that you can kind of see. So good looking one. Now we're going to come on in here. We're going to go into this first little pocket back here. We're by the Kerr Lake dash hounds. So we're going to move back. So some more laydowns back in there. We don't need to zoom into those. Move back. On here, here's where I keep seeing these stumps, and I think they're stumps. They look like stumps. You see them here? So we got more right in here too, a big flurry of them right there in that section. So maybe check that out. That could be one of those really off patterns that you can't find a lot of that in here, but you do have a little bit off of all these points that you can go check out. So if that became a thing, that could be something productive, at least in this area. As we move further back, let's take a look and see what else we can find in here. I've got some more stuff I wanted you to check out here. This long point that comes out. And right off the end of the point, there's some kind of debris or something going on right in here. Again, it's like those stumps or rocks. I'm not sure what it is, but obviously fish are attracted to anything that's different, and that's good cover for them. Moving on down here, I didn't see too much on these bank lines, but there is a little bit of rock right in here. Notice how this bank line just right here is different than all the other ones. It's a different color. And if you zoom it in, you'll realize that there's a lot of rock around this bank line. It's kind of pebblish, a little bit of boulders here and there, but right in here, it becomes pretty heavy. So right off the edge of that point, I could see that being a really good point. You know, it's getting farther back in this cove. It's very well protective. Got a creek bed coming through there. You got another creek bed that comes through here as well. And then as you follow this creek bed out, which that creek bed is right along that bank line, so that bank line is going to be a good bank line. You do have some rock that's right here, a little rock pile, and then a pretty good little laydown that's back here too. Looks like there's a lot of vegetation back here too. So that could be a good spot to go look at. All right, so let's pull back out here. We talked about that creek channel that was there. We talked about those rocks that were over there. We talked about that. I'm on the wrong side, so we're going to move down. Down in here, we got another laydown that's back there. Another one of those good hard spots right here. Look, this one, you can actually see whatever that stuff was I was talking about earlier, whether I told you it was stumps or whatever. You got a hard spot here, but you've also got some of that out there off this point too. You could just have a heyday offshore fishing on this lake. There's just so much to go through. So let's keep moving on down and see what else we can find here. At this point, just wanted you to check this. I couldn't tell if it was rocks or debris or what it was, but just wanted you to scan it and see. Here's those stumps again. Another good hard spot here that you need to check out. The other thing I wanted you to check out again was whatever those things are. Those four little dots that you see there. Don't know what those are, but I bet the fish are going to attract to them. Also right here, more of those stumps. It's more of these dots. If these are little stumps, that's cool, and if they're bigger boulders, that's cool as well. So all of these things look good. That's a really good main lake point there with some really good cover on it. Let's pull back and kind of show you where I'm at, right here in the midsection. Check my time here. We're at about 18 minutes, so we'll keep going maybe for about another 10, and then we'll call it a day. Let's keep moving down. We've got some more stumps that are down in here. And then as we move further down, more laydowns, more laydowns. So some pretty good little cover back in here, but not a lot of rock, but definitely just some laydowns and things that you could flip around. And then as you get out here, this point looks really good. So coming off this point, you've got a little bit of rock up here. You can tell this is a harder spot. You got more rock in here, and it actually comes all the way out here. So you'll want to scan that entire thing pretty much from that. Looks like there may even be a buoy there. You want to scan from that buoy all the way in and just scan the whole thing and see what you can find, see what they're relating to. I could see that also being a really big shad area, you know, where you're going to get a lot of shad or whatever your bait fish are on this lake. So let's keep moving down and move a little bit down further. As we get down here, we've got more laydowns. Here's one of those brush piles we were telling you about. And I don't know if they're brush piles or just PVC attractors, but they're put in there by the state of Virginia. So you've got these fish attractors that are here. You've actually got 3 of them that are back in here to check out. I didn't see too much back in here, just a little creek bed and a couple more laydowns. As we move over here and get to the edge of this, you're going to see that this is a harder point as well. I'm starting to kind of lose my image here. Let's see if I can get a better one for you. Let's go back to 2013. Now you can see here this got some pretty shallow rock here. This isn't the kind of rock we've been looking at where it's more offshore. This is more right there up along the bank line. Got some more rock in this area, and then here again a lot of riprap and stuff all along that area. So that's more of that shallow crankbait type stuff, things like that. So you can see here where we are at. We're at Bullocksville Park. Let's keep moving down. We got a ramp there. More riprap all around this point. So again, that shallow diving crankbait stuff right here as well. Let's move this image off and see if we can get a better image. This may be the best one we can find, but a really good rocky area right in there. Let's try to draw this back. No, we just lost it. So 2013 is going to be the best one we got. This is 2016. That rock we just looked at, we'd have no idea it was there. 2020, again, no idea that it was there. Let's go back 2013 and boom, it just magically appears. We've got more rock right in here as well, laydowns. Come around this point, we've got a good little rocky area right around that point to look at. Some more laydowns back in there. Let's pull back, show you guys where I'm at real quick again. Just coming down here, right, I'm just to the south of that park. And as I get down in here, we're going to start getting into another spot where it's almost like there's a ridge line going on right in here. And you can tell because of all these hard spots. So you've got really good hard spots all along this whole bank line, all the way out through that point, and it actually expands even back in here. So you're going to find rock, all kinds of good stuff, and they're going to be attracted to those spots. You got another laydown that's back in there, some more rock that's over in here. Zoom in here and show it to you. You can see it's just one little bitty area, but there is some rock there, and sometimes those are golden spots, laydowns. Some more stuff that I wanted you to check back in here. I couldn't really tell what this was, but some kind of debris and stuff going on right in here. So you'll want to go look at that. And we're actually right where I put that check at, there's a big circle right there too. Almost looks like tires or something like that. So I wanted you to check that out. All right, so let's keep moving back, see what else we can find in here. We're starting to see some docks finally. So we haven't seen too many docks, but as we get back here, we got these juicy rock piles again. One right here, one right here. Again, if we're looking at this thing, let's just look at all these rock piles real quick. So we got one here, really good hard spot with rock there, and another one there. Let's zoom this back. So this was supposedly 10 of 2013. Let's take this all the way up to today, or to the latest image of 2020. And I just don't think that you would know some of that stuff is there. You might pick up that there's rock here, but these other spots you're going to totally miss. And so that's why this can really, really come into handy with helping you guys find the right spots to fish and the productive areas to fish. So let's keep moving on down, see what else we can find. More laydowns down in there. As we come back in here, we've got another creek channel that's coming back through here. Now, you're probably like, well, why would I even go back there? Well, definitely you want to fish around the creek channels, but look where this creek channel comes up and touches the edge of that bank line right there. All of this right in here could be pretty good. So you'll want to go look at that. There's actually a little hard spot back in there too. Not much of a creek channel, but you definitely got one back there. Let's keep moving up. We got more ramps. Actually, that might be the first one we've seen. That's the Flemington boat ramp. You got another ramp that's here. Outside of this ramp, it looks like, I don't know if this is a swim area or what's going on, but just outside of this ramp, if you look right here, I want you to check and see what this is. I don't know if it's a giant laydown, if it's a giant rock pile. I have no idea what it is, but something we need to go look at. We've got the same type thing up here. We get outside of these little pipes or whatever they are, flotation things. We got something else to check right here. This looks like a hard spot. I think it is, but it's hard to tell because there's only a few of those lines. So I definitely wanted you to look at that one. Same type thing up here. We've got more debris and stuff, just somewhere to go and check. I can't even tell you what it is. It's just debris of some sort, but go out there, look at it, see what you can find. See if you can find any fish related to it. As we move back in here, we've got some more rock that's right here off the edge. This is going to be more riprap. Moving on back, go back and see what else we can find. We got laydowns back in there, more laydowns in here, more laydowns. I'm skipping over those just so we don't make this video last an hour and a half. We've also got some more debris that's right in here, getting choked up. This looks like an old, maybe foundation, maybe boat ramp. I can't tell what it is, but it looks like something you need to fish around. You've also got that lay down that's just right there to the top of it. And then as we move up, we get out here into this marina. Let's see what this marina is called. This is the Satterwhite Boat Ramp. All right, so as we get in here, we get back in here behind this marina. There is some rock that's back in here. So you may want to go look at that. It looks like a very well protected pocket. Then you've got a really good hard spot that's right here off the point that's between the two docks. Then as you move over here, you've got some more rock. This really isn't riprap. This is just really good rock going on around this point. You got that. You've got the boat ramp back here. Then here you got a little bit of riprap, a little bit of more riprap here, and then pockets of riprap all the way around this point. So as we get out to that point, I'm thinking that is probably going to be a good spot for us to stop at for tonight. So let's go ahead and change this icon here. I'm going to go back up here and change my view back to my sidebar and change the properties of this thing so I can remember next time that we talk where we need to start at. So let's just make this some magical color there. And what we'll do is we'll start right there on the next video. So I haven't talked about it much in this video, but we have all these waypoints out there for you. Go to simplisticfishing.com, look up Kerr Lake, and you'll be able to find all of these different areas that we talked about, all the waypoints. You can take the waypoints, import them into your graph. It will make fishing so much easier for you. You'll have the lake broke down right there in front of you. We will also email you the GPX file so you can use it on your mobile apps. And on top of that, we'll email you the KML file, which is actually what we're looking at right here today. So you can do all your planning and your mapping for your next tourney. Hey, until next time, guys, I hope you catch your PB. Take it easy.